Good afternoon, Cedarfield family. I hope all is well with you on this fine Wednesday, September 9th. Those of you that are here at the community, thank you for tuning in to this live chat, not only hearing about COVID-19 information, but also some updates from various leaders within the executive team. Those of you that are listening tonight, again, thank you for taking time out away from your career, your family, the things that you love to do, to hear about information regarding our preparedness plans and general updates. For the next 15 minutes, yours truly will go over some COVID-19 updates. And then from 3:15 to about 3:45, we have the following people who will present. We have Jack Johnson, our Assistant Maintenance Director, who has some updates about some items in maintenance. We have Rebecca Merritt, who's here from Wellness and Leisure, to provide some updates. And thirdly, Matt Dameron will be here to talk about health services, particularly with respect to our three-phase plan on the license side. Yours truly will come back and talk a little bit more about some general administrative updates, and then we'll round things out with some spiritual well-being and some good news from our pastoral services department. So first, COVID-19. Those of you that are just interested in COVID-19 data and facts, here it is. Globally, worldwide, we have approached 27,800,000 people who have a case, and that is up from 27 million this last time we were reporting. Unfortunately, the number of deaths has also risen probably about 4 or 5% to 903,000, up from 864 this time last week. National trends are slightly down. We have about 6.5 million people that have have come across a COVID case. That is up from 6.2 last week. The deaths as a result of those cases over the last week is roughly at about 2% increase from last week. 193,000 people have passed away, unfortunately, and this time last week was 189,000. Here regionally, in the Commonwealth of Virginia, we have probably by the end of the day, we'll have about 130,000 cases, which the Commonwealth of Virginia actually rose in the ranking around the country to 15th over the last 3 weeks. We were at the 16th ranking. So over this last week, we've risen one ranking. The deaths associated with the Commonwealth rest at about 2,690. Give you a little glimpse of last 7 days ago, that number was 2,641. The golden metric right now that everyone's looking at is the 7-day positivity rate in the Commonwealth. We relatively no change. We are at 7.85%, 7-day positivity rate. Last week we're at 7.9. Here locally in Henrico County, we have 4,872 cases, and that county ranking within the Commonwealth has stayed the same. Henrico still is ranked 5th within the Commonwealth with the most cases. And the number of deaths have only risen slightly to 195 deaths in the county. This time last week it was 194. The 7-day positivity rate, I'm not quite sure I had an accurate reading when I was looking at the Virginia Gov website. It said 6.4% 7-day positivity rate. However, this time last week it was 9.4. So I have a call in to the epidemiologist to see if that number is accurate. My guess is there's a little something wrong with that calculation. In Chesterfield, there are 5,350 cases in Chesterfield. And Chesterfield still ranks 4th in ranking within the Commonwealth with the number of cases. And the number of unfortunate deaths in Chesterfield rose 2 deaths since this time last week. So in Chesterfield, there's 85 people who unfortunately have passed away. The 7-day positivity rate in Chesterfield is 7%, which is a very slight decrease from this time last week at 7.1%. And in the city of Richmond, the 7-day positivity rate is 7.5, which is an increase from 7 days ago at 6.2. So those are some of the statistics behind how we're making some decisions here locally for our dashboard. Cedarfield is entering, believe it or not, our 28th week of implementing COVID-19 evolving preparedness plans. And as we see many, really the whole nation is a hot spot, our goal has been and will continue to be the safety of the residents and the team members and families or vendors who come onto the property. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's listening for your attentiveness and your support around our Cedarfield shared values. I was on a call a couple days ago with the epidemiologists, and they had said, how's the Cedarfield shared values going? And I said, for the most part, many of the residents and team members are complying with those 11 items on our shared values plan. And they had said that they had shared that plan with many other providers in the county to give them a teachable tool to maybe perhaps use as a guide of how they can rally their residents and team members in those home settings. So we're all in this together, heading into the fall season, and as you have heard through a lot of the news media outlets, that there's just a lot of concern going into this flu season, and so we're going to really utilize the month of September here to look at all that data and to look at what our phased plan is across the whole campus and plan accordingly. More specifically, in the licensed areas, we have been working very diligently over the last 2 weeks to look at the 3-phase plan for memory support, for assisted living, and for the healthcare setting. There are a number of us who have met a few times over the last 2 weeks to revise that plan. Matt Dameron, our Associate Executive Director, Melissa Seiler, our Director of Nursing, and the clinical leaders, neighborhood leaders, are putting together the final touches on 3 plans. 1 plan for memory support, another 3-phase plan for assisted living, and then a third 3-phase plan for healthcare. So when you think about our approach to this pandemic, Cedarfield has 4 3-phased plans. 1 for independent living, and then 1 for each of those areas I just listed in the licensed areas. So we have 4 plans that we're constantly going to be monitoring here into the fall and comparing those plans with CDC recommendations, Virginia Department of Health recommendations, and the Department of Social Services that actually regulates assisted living. Currently, our dashboard in the licensed areas is completely green. We have no COVID cases in the licensed areas. We have 0 tests that are pending as of this very second. We don't know of any team member and or resident or family member that's on a contact trace list. And currently, as of this morning, we're only following one resident that has some signs and some symptoms of the flu. We're not actually testing the person for COVID-19. So that's good news. Our dashboard on that side of the campus is all green, and we are grateful for that. Especially because of the hard work and the diligence with the life enhancers. It's a new term maybe for some of you. Those are our certified nursing assistants, the LPNs, the RNs, and everyone else that works as essential team members up in the 5 neighborhoods. They have done an incredible job of executing our preparedness plan, living out our shared values, and we have had really 0 cases up in the licensed area in the last several months. So if you have a chance to talk with one of the folks that work in memory support, assisted living, or the healthcare, family members out there, team members, or residents, I just encourage you to pat them on the back. It's a tough environment, and but they are doing just a very noble job of keeping everybody safe and alive. On the independent living side, our dashboard is just a little bit different. So as the memo said last week, we came across a team member who, after we contact traced this team member, it seems highly likely that this person came across COVID-19 outside the gates of Cedarfield. That person came forth, they went to go test on their own, they were positive. We contact traced that individual here, and we did not come up with anybody else that we really should test. Additionally, a second person, so let me back up. So as a result of that team member coming forth to tell us that they had COVID-19 or tested, we went ahead and we tested 87 people in the dining services department last Friday. So thank you, Connie McGowan, our infection control nurse, and the nurses who helped accomplish that task over a 24-hour period of time. 87 tests is pretty significant. And so we got back most of the results on Saturday. Actually, we started getting back results Friday night. Most of the results back on Saturday, and then they all came back by Sunday. So the good news is there was only one additional person who was positive. We contact traced that individual, and again, it was very highly likely that that person came across the virus outside the gates of Cedarfield. So we retested those 2 individuals again in the beginning of this week. Both of those 2 individuals are now negative. That's good news. And the rest of the 87 tests came back negative. We have 0 team members in dining services that are showing signs and symptoms. We don't have any other team member on this entire campus that is showing signs and symptoms. And we don't know of any resident on independent living that has signs and symptoms. So hopefully that gives everybody an update about our dashboard in independent living. A couple other things about COVID-19. As our plans are evolving and we're looking at space to bring those things back online, our billiards room is now open. Thank you, Dick Jones, for partnering with us to make that a reality. Those of you that love to shoot pool, please comply with the guidelines that are in that space. I just want to squash a rumor. The Chesapeake Bank is not NOT closing. The bank is not closing. As a result of this meeting over the last couple of weeks, I placed emphasis on supporting the bank, and some people have taken that into a different direction and said the bank is closing. The bank is not closing. We need to support the bank to prevent it. So if you don't have an account with Chesapeake Bank, I would strongly encourage you to go see Jenny. She'd be glad to talk to you about the vast array of services that Chesapeake Bank has to offer. And then Matt Dameron is going to talk a little bit here in a couple minutes about our three-phased approach to the health services area. Additionally, what the executive team is looking at is visitation. I know that's a hot topic for everyone really on the campus. Yours truly has had a chance to talk to John Burns, the CEO over Westminster Canterbury. He gave me some insight as to what they're doing with visitation, and I've talked with a couple other community leaders here in Richmond. And so we're going to begin talking about how to maybe look at opening up visitation for the community. So stay tuned for that. Hope to have something, a plan about that in the next 2 weeks or so. Okay, next up is Jack Johnson. Talk a little bit about maintenance.
Good afternoon, I'm Jack Johnson, Assistant Director of Maintenance and Engineering. Wanted to share some highlights of last month. We had 1,659 new maintenance requests, and we completed 1,649. I thought that was pretty good numbers there, staying up to date with things. Also, the filter PMs for the entire campus are just about complete. I don't think there's like 5 or 6 more apartments that need to be done, and we'll be 100%, for this go around. That and the fireplace preventive maintenance. We had an outside company come in and certify all the units to make sure that they're in good shape. They've all been done now, so we're in good shape there. Also, the cottage washing and gutter cleaning have all been taken care of and are complete. And now we're looking to move forward with the next group of cottage roofs that will be replaced this year, along with some gutter repairs and gutter guard things that we're looking at installing for the future. Also, the refresh program, we have some people that are on our list to that are due the refresh on their space. We will be contacting you here soon. We're gearing that program up and getting things lined up to move forward with that. So you should be hearing from us soon, the people that are due for that. That's about all I have there. Thank you, everyone, and Rebecca, you're up next. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. My name is Rebecca Merritt. I am the Director of Wellness and Leisure. I wanted to give you all a few updates from our department. First, we have some congratulations that are in order for the following staff here in the Wellness and Leisure Department. We want to congratulate Carol Thompson. She was our fitness instructor. She has now been promoted to our wellness coordinator. We also have Georgia Brown, who was a program assistant, who has now been promoted to a lifestyles coordinator. So if you see them, we have some banners in the hub area. Please congratulate them. Feel free to sign their banner. and we're so happy for both of them. We would also like to welcome a couple new staff members. Brian Burton is our new independent living social worker, and his office is right off of staff dining. So if you see him, please welcome him, as well as Will Stern, who I mentioned a little bit about last week. He is our new ancillary services manager, so you will be contacting Will with any transportation or concierge questions or issues. Got my notes, okay. So first of all, I want to thank everyone for participating in our Labor Day celebration. It was a success. We were so excited about it. Photos have been posted on Facebook. We had a lot of staff members, residents who had their pictures taken, so definitely check those out. Hopefully everyone has liked our Facebook page here, so we're really proud of that. We are excited that we had today, this morning, our first presentation by the Valentine Museum. I know some of you all watched that live stream. It was this morning at 10:30. The topic was called Ballot Battles. So it just was an overview of historical elections and women's suffrage in Richmond, Virginia. Our next scheduled program with them is going to be September 23rd at 10:30 in the Fellowship Hall, and this is going to be a really exciting program. I encourage everyone to participate in. It's called A Tale of Two Stores, so it's going to be talking about Miller and Rhodes and Tallheimers in Richmond. I think she's going to bring some displays, maybe some artifacts for people to see, so we have a sign-up sheet for that. We did have an absentee voter registration social that was a real success on September 3rd. It went very well. Please join us September 24th at 2 in the Fellowship Hall. We're going to be having a second opportunity where we can assist those of you all who would like the opportunity to register for your absentee ballot. And then the ballots will be sent out next month. So you'll be receiving those to your mailboxes here at Cedar Field. Following your application for your absentee ballot, your registration status can be checked in the Wellness and Leisure office by Lori or myself, so please feel free to stop by, or you can call the office, and we just need a few little pieces of personal information and we can pull you up and also print you off a copy so you can see when your application was processed. All right, upcoming Fall Festival on September 25th. As I said last week, we want to celebrate our 25th anniversary on the 25th. So we will be having entertainment by Art Flow, which is a local company. They'll include juggling, hula hoops, and dancing, as well as we're going to have some fun games with prizes, a fall photo shoot with props, as well as a pumpkin painting contest. So we want to encourage everyone, check out the information in the Informer. We listed that in detail, so we definitely want a lot of participation for that fun event. We're also going to have the musician, hopefully, who was at the Labor Day celebration, who played the guitar and sang, who was very well received by you all, so he was wonderful. September 17th, we are having a photo shoot for our pictorial. As we mentioned, Life Touch is no longer working right now. They shut down all production. If you did have your photo taken last fall, we still have a copy of that. Right now, we're focusing on reaching out, calling and scheduling new residents first for this photo shoot. We're looking forward to completing this project because I know it's very meaningful to Cedar Field to have that. Live bingo, we're really excited. This Friday we're going to have our first live bingo in months. That's going to be at 2 o'clock in the Fellowship Hall. We have a lot of gift baskets and fun prizes, so we encourage you all to sign up as well for that fun event. That's also listed in your September Informer. And then finally, I'm excited to present, these are literally hot off the press. These are garden invitations. So we're going to be having our resident garden dedication Wednesday, September 30th. That's also mentioned in your Informer from 11 to 1. It will be in the resident gardens. We're going to be having a box lunch. These will go in everyone's mailboxes. So it will be a box lunch following this special dedication that we're really excited about. You can sign up in the in-house mail room. It is going to be standing room only because we're going to be out around by the garden beds. And then it is going to have limited space, and the box lunches are going to be enjoyed on our wellness patio. So that is something that you're going to need to check your mailboxes for. Once again, it is limited seating, so we just want to make sure that you all sign up for this wonderful event. And that is all I have right now. I'd like to introduce Matt Dameron. He's going to be presenting some new updates for us. Thank you.
It's good to be with you here today. Just two quick updates from me. The first one is about phase 1 in assisted living. So you received a call them all on Friday, I believe it was, about us starting to go into phase 1 with our assisted living neighborhood, and some of our residents coming out from assisted living over to this portion of the building. We are so very excited about that, and our residents are very excited as well. So just so you know, we have a memo coming up along with a detailed plan as to what phase 1 is going to look like in regards to assisted living. We're doing the same thing with Sunshine Plaza and the healthcare households as well. But this format will look very familiar. It's what was given out kind of early on when we went to phase 1 over here in independent living. It's the same format, just updated for assisted living. So we will be sending out a memo with the attached plan, hopefully early next week, and for you all to take a look at that so you know exactly what the phasing looks like, specifically in assisted living for this example, and then coming up for the other areas. Secondly, I will also be putting something in your mailboxes tomorrow that is our health services, what I'm calling a quick facts sheet. So I've spoken about this a couple of times over the last month or so. Some residents, specifically residents in independent living, some of our families have asked for us to put together a quick bullet-pointed list of facts pertaining to the licensed portion of our campus. So we have done that, and I will get that out to you all tomorrow. And it addresses, it kind of breaks it down by healthcare, by assisted living, and by Sunshine Plaza, and addresses a few main areas which you all asked us to point out, which are the staffing ratios for certain positions, the turnover rate for our team members, and then just the overall structure of each neighborhood and household. So that, along with some other good information, will be available to you tomorrow with this quick fact sheet. So look forward to that. All right. Thank you all very much. Who's it next? Margaret. Margaret, come on in.
Thank you, Matt. To close out, I was thinking, as I was searching for something to share, that after so many months of challenges and the anxieties that have gone with it, it's exciting to be here now when things are slowly starting to open up, and it gives us some new things and new ideas to look forward to. And I thought a good way at this point to start each day would be with some words of wisdom by an author named Harvey Mackay. And he writes this: "Life is too short to wake up in the morning with regrets. So, love the people who treat you right, forget about the ones who do not, and believe that everything happens for a reason. If you get a chance, take it. If it changes your life, let it. Nobody said it would be easy. They just promised it would be worth it." And with that, I think we have good news. This is a picture of Lou and Charlie Weber's wedding day. They just celebrated their 67th wedding anniversary on September 4th, and we wish them a great big congratulations.